Do you ever stand over a putt and start to doubt everything? The line feels off. You're not sure that you read it right. You're not sure that you're aimed on the right line. You start to have negative thoughts about your stroke and things are going on inside your head, and you're not alone. Every one of us has felt that or feels that at some time or another. Well, in this video, we're going to talk about 3 things that you probably do, because most golfers do them, that are sabotaging your stroke and causing this problem. And I'm going to give you a solution to solve them fast. It all comes down to being comfortable over the ball and confident that you're going to roll it in the hole. Do you ever do this when putting? Line up to the ball, and I'm using the line on my ball. Yeah, that looks right. And then you step up to the ball and like, that looks like I'm aimed to the left. Huh. You go back and you do it again. Yep, I'm aimed right. So you get up over the ball and you set up. Huh. That still feels left. Well, you know, I don't want to waste any more time and slow down the game, so I'm just going to aim it a little bit right, and you miss it. We do that a lot. The first thing, never putt when you doubt your line. Here's how you fix that. So here I have an alignment rod. You don't have to use an alignment rod. You could use a string or a ruler, any number of devices, but I'm going to set that up and I'm going to line up the line on my ball, pointing where I want this putt to roll. And I believe this is a straight uphill putt that I've got here, so I've set that up. Then I walk around to the ball. Now I know that that line is square, but it doesn't always look square. This is because of a problem with our eyes. Our eyes are curved, they're rounded. These lenses are rounded. So when I'm standing behind the ball like this, I'm looking straight out of the middle of the lens. When I get over the ball like this, I'm looking out of the curved part, and so the line doesn't look the same. That's why I often say putting is like driving a car, and the car is moving this way, but the controls and the steering wheel are in the passenger seat. And so I'm driving down the road like this. It's the same with putting. We've got an eye problem. So in your setup, what I want you to do is get in the habit of set up on a putt. Now I know that that line on the ball and that line, and you do this to practice on your setup even if you don't use the line on the course. But I know that that's the right line. So now I set up over the putt and I get in my setup position, and that line doesn't look quite right. It looks a little bit off to the left. I make sure that my shoulders and feet and everything are square to that line. I'm not thinking about the hole. And then I simply move my head a little bit so that until that line looks square. Now that is my new head position and where I have my eyes over the ball. And I get used to that and I train myself. That's what it feels like. Then my eyes trust the line. If you don't do that, then you simply have to get used to the fact that you use the line on the ball, you square that up with your putter, and it looks and feels wrong, but you're going to trust it. That's really hard to do. I suggest that you learn to position your eyes and your head until you're absolutely square with your intended target. Works that way. Learn to do that. In my online courses, How to Putt the Right Way and Becoming a Green Reading Guru, we spend a lot of time on setup and confidence and aiming putts and trusting your line. I give you a guarantee that you'll improve your putting by 3 to 4 strokes around. You ought to check those out. There's a nice discount for you in the video description. Now, for about half the people, that's eyes directly over the ball like I am here, straight up from the ball to my eyes. For me, and another about half the people, it's very slightly inside, like my eye position is about here instead, just on the inside of the ball, instead of over the ball. That's when it looks best for me. For a very, very, very few percentage of the people, it's actually their eyes out beyond the ball. That's when they see the line straight, eyes out beyond the ball like this. I can hardly do that, but you get the idea. So the point is, do something to learn to make yourself comfortable and confident, and trust the line when you stand over the ball. And don't putt if you're thinking about the line or doubting that, or you have any discomfort with that. Learn to get in the position where you're set up square, you see the line, and you're confident in that before you putt. The second thing to never do when putting is have negative thoughts. So many people get up over the ball and they're like, okay, don't flip your wrist, don't do this, don't push it, don't pull it, don't make too big of a swing, don't leave it short. And all of that stuff gets you off of what's really important. Now, your subconscious mind does not process negative commands. So when you tell yourself, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, your brain, that's the same as focusing on that, and you end up doing the very thing you're telling yourself not to do. So you've got to replace that with a positive thought process. And I know a lot of people then, and this is the third mistake, don't putt when you are thinking about stroke mechanics. People are over a putt and they're thinking about mechanics. Oh, say straight back, straight through. Okay, I've got to have my arc just perfect. No, you're not thinking about arcs, pendulums. You're not thinking about strokes. All of that gets you off and you're focused on the wrong place. Here's the solution. You develop a solid, consistent putting routine where you do the same thing every time. Like I teach in my online course how to putt the right way, like I've taught a ton of times on YouTube videos, you have a routine that says, I do this, I do this, I do this, I do this. In my routine, when I get over the putt, it's eye position, putter face square to the target line, feet, shoulders, hips, hands in the right position, back to the target, trace the target to the ball, target, ball, go. But there's a consistent routine there. What that consistent routine does is it keeps me from thinking, don't do this, do that, don't do this. It keeps me from thinking about stroke mechanics. It keeps me from thinking about negative thoughts or how important this putt is. It takes all of that out of it, and I've built it in. So here's the key thing to solve all of that. You've got two zones in your putting. Behind the ball, back here, is the thinking zone. I'm thinking, that's the line. And if I use the line on my ball, I set the line on my ball on my intended target line. And I'm thinking, is that the line? I've read the green, I've got that. I'm thinking, okay, this is for par, this is for birdie, this is to save par, whatever, it doesn't matter what I'm thinking. But you can think about all of that here. And now that I'm done, I'm ready to putt. I'm out of the thinking zone. There's no thinking anymore. It's purely I step up to the putt and my routine kicks in and takes over. Is the putter face square to my target line? Yes. Are my hips, feet, shoulders square to the target line? Yes. The ball in the right position relative to my eyes? Are my hands in the right position? Yes. Then I'm thinking about, and I'm not even thinking, I focus on the hole, my target line, back to my intermediate target, to the ball, and that's it. Never putt unless you're only thinking about the target, unless you're only focused on the target. Again, back here is the thinking zone. You can have all of those thoughts. When you step up to the ball, it's the action zone, and it's routine, 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 target, 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 stroke. You've got to do it that way every time. It'll help you be confident, consistent, trust your putting line, stroke the ball on that line. Focus on the target. So in your practice, learn to trust your line, position your head and your eyes where you see the line, and then learn to trust it. Out on the course, break it down to thinking zone, action zone, step into the action zone, go through your routine, stroke the putt. You'll make a lot more. And if you like making a lot more putts, then you know what to do. Give this video a like, share, give this channel a subscribe. Check out the video on the screen now. Share this video with your friends. And until next time, here's to you making more putts.